Well, unfortunately, CLG's run has ended in the gauntlet. I'm joined right now by Weldon. Of course, this coverage is brought to you by Alienware to talk a little bit about how things went today. You guys have a competing sponsor, so I appreciate you plugging them. Either way, uh, today.
Alienware's a thumbs down.
Sure. Glad I could help you out.
Competing sponsor.
Yes.
I don't have my jersey on.
Okay. Regardless, um, we got any audio issues? Is that what's happening right now? Going in and out? Oh, maybe this is the bad cable. Hopefully, we're good now. We're going to see how this interview goes. Either way, so it looked like a reverse sweep potentially, and then something just went wrong in that fourth game. How much do you think today's loss is sort of based off of perhaps CLG underperforming or CG just improving since the last time you guys played them?
I mean, I think that in the last, I would say in C9 series, we underperformed. I think in these two series, we performed as well as we were able to. So all the people like teams not winning, like us not winning in this case, was just they were better. And that was all. This was as hard as we could train up to accomplish it. So unfortunate.
There were some people I know scratching their head about the draft in the first game. Was that a bit of an experiment on your end?
No, I think like Team Liquid infected the meta pretty strongly. And so all four teams going to the gauntlet were running, I think, 3 big counters to the Xayah Rakan. There was either you split them up, you know, Xayah on one team, Rakan on the other, or you go Kate Morg, or you go Sonatom and you crush with that. So it's just one of the options that you can play into Sonatom. We decided to abandon it after the first run through because clutch play really fast paced. So like even though we had Prio and we had presence on the Sonatom, so we were the first setup for the Drake, we were the first setup for the Herald, we like messed up the fight, and then just by like not layering our CC, and then that was it. You know, it just felt really hard to come back from a single mistaken fight. So other picks are a little more durable, but it did what it was supposed to, and then we just messed up the fight, unfortunately.
Well, I'm sorry to make you the sacrificial lamb for the team, but how are things going behind the scenes? How are the players taking it?
Really bad. Yep. Yeah, anytime. It's really funny. I see players at the end of every single season, and there's always this grieving process. You can actually see them go through the stages of grief over a couple days. Yeah. And even when people are walking back from backstage, they're still reviewing the game. They're like, "Oh, we should have this. Like, we should have." You know, even though it doesn't even matter, they're not going to play another game for months. And like dragging yourself out of this train short-term mindset, and then into the long term, and realizing that you have to wake up on Monday and you have nothing to do is really brutal. Yeah. It's hard. Mentally and emotionally.
Well, what do you think, taking a step back from this series, what do you think of CLG's performance over the course of the year? Because obviously a big difference between summer and spring split.
Yeah, I think we had astronomical growth from the team in that regard. I think regardless of our 7th or 8th place finish in the spring, I think we were probably a last place team. And we just had really good, like we knew how to abuse our successful, you know, picks. Yeah. And so we were able to eke a lot of wins out. This season, I think that there were some metas where we were probably a top team in North America for even a couple weeks. And then I think that the biggest lesson that I take from the end of the season is that we had an extended meta that went for like 7 weeks. I think we've been on the same patch, and it always evolves. What I've learned is that we're a really good team at like abusing like new metas when they come out, and then like as it evolves, your team gets more and more exposed for like the fundamentals of the game and being able to fight well. And so I think that we have a lot of clear focuses for next year, but I'm really excited about like starting from 0 and being at 90 miles an hour, not 100 miles an hour, but 90. It's like decent.
So overall, I think, you know, obviously you're not satisfied in this moment, but generally speaking, satisfied with where CLG went this year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you get paid a lot more money when you go to Worlds, so everybody's super pissed about that. Yes. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. So,
well, what is next for you in particular? Because I'm sure the players are going to like take a step back and breathe on this. I mean, is it similar for you?
Nope. I go to work at 8 o'clock on Monday and work 8 to 5 every office day. So for me, the off-season work kind of starts now. So we got to figure out the boot camp, figure out, like, we have some players whose contracts end this year, so we got to nail down the roster, and we have to work on, our training systems are pretty good. I think we just have to decide, like, you know, a little bit more on what to focus on, but that comes when the boot camp comes, so I think it's mostly CLG stuff. There's also other teams in CLG. CLG is an esports org, so they have a lot of different teams, and now I'm free to work with other players and other teams a little bit in my free time.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, so with having just faced Clutch, it seems like there are a lot of people that are expecting a Clutch win tomorrow. TSM seems to be the underdog based off of a lot of the predictions I've seen. Do you agree with that assessment?
So TSM has been looking really strong in their training. They came in very, very committed to turning things around, and they had 4 weeks to work on it. And the biggest question mark that we have is just Spica on stage, right? That's the only thing that remains. Because in scrims, they look perfectly solid. A fine team. Either team could take it the day, depending on how the meta changes throughout. Who loses the first game and where the picks go. But they don't have a. It's going to look like a very different series in us because we have different priorities. Clutch share some of the same champion pool as TSM, so for them they're going to be maybe trading power picks a little bit more than we did. So yeah, I mean, I am really excited to see actually who wins. Obviously, it would be really hype for North America to send TSM again, and be like, this is our top 3 teams always. But I think it would be also cool for a new franchise coming in to be like, hey, our first year acquiring this, and we took Clutch from the bottom all the way to the top, and now we're going to World. So that is also really. I feel like as fans we can't lose. Yeah. No matter what happens tomorrow, somebody's going to be happy.
It's a very safe answer, but one I respect.
Okay, but I do have a preference. Obviously, I want TSM to win because die Clutch.
Okay, very good. But if Clutch wins, that means you lost to the 3rd place Worlds team, right? Isn't that a better scenario for CLG?
I mean, tournaments aren't really for. That would be if tournaments were good at ranking teams, because a single elimination tournament determines the single strongest team, and everything else is up for grabs. You need a double elimination tournament to start ranking teams 1, 2, 3, and we don't have that. So we could be the 3rd best team or the 2nd best team, or we don't know, because it's single elimination. So it's irrelevant in a single elim tournament, who takes it all.
Any parting words for the CLG fans as you guys head into off season?
Thank you for your turnaround this year. We had a turnaround. You guys also had a turnaround. I was really amazed to see this positivity exuding from the CLG fan base for the first time in 10 years, 2 years, a year. And so pat yourselves on the back for that amazing turnaround. And I hope that we can keep up the good work and not let you down next year.
Thank you so much, Weldon, for the interview. Always appreciate it whenever folks do these, especially after a tough series like that. So either way, thanks so much, Weldon.
Yeah, made it easier.
Thank you. Well, looking forward to seeing what you guys do during the off-season and what CLG can pull off next year. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm currently at PAX West. I mean, I'm not, because you just watched that video, so that moved. Anyway, but here, as I'm filming this outro, I'm at PAX West, and I am surrounded by amazing new Alienware products. This is the new Aurora that they just refreshed. Looks absolutely beautiful. Got announced at Gamescom. First available here. 27-inch, 240 hertz monitor. That's rad. Also matches the desktop. New keyboard, new mice, new headset, new mouse pad. There's a bunch of cool stuff here. There's even a 55-inch gaming monitor, OLED. It's beautiful. Check all that stuff out at alienware.com/Travis. It's a huge help. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.